Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It is your boy Noah Jones, and welcome to Today in Hip Hop. This is episode 21, and we're going to do something a little different, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do today is we are going to do an album review of the homie Jay Stone's new project, The Definition of Loyalty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this episode is sponsored by PrivateRoadClothing.com. Yes, indeed. Head on over to PrivateRoadClothing.com and scoop you some fly shit. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, I will, for the people that's viewing me, you can see the shirt that I have on. It says, Think Rich, Act Rich, Get Rich. This is a shirt from Private Road Clothing, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. All right, so check it out. We're going to go ahead and review this album. For those of you that don't know who Jay Stone is Nipsey Hussle's right-hand man, and they've done a lot of records together. And basically, I want to check his shit out. I've done a song with Nipsey Hussle myself as well. If you want to look into it, you can go on YouTube and type in Noah Jones, Streets Keep Starving, featuring Nipsey Hussle, and the record will pop up. You can go ahead and check it out and tell me what you think. But yeah, let's get into this album right now. What we're going to do is, I'm going to give you a review on all the records. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyright strikes, and I don't want to be, using this content. So I'll explain what, like the record. I'll tell you about the record and give you my opinion on it. And at the end of the review, I'm going to give it a score. I'm going to give it a score on lyricism. I'm going to give it a score on the beats, which is the production. And I'm going to give it a score on the content. Also, I'll give it an overall rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for all three. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Stone, The Definition of Loyalty. The first record, it's called The Marathon Continues, and it has Nipsey Hussle in the intro. Basically, he's introducing Jay Stone on stage right before they go into the record. The Marathon Continues. This is a fire record. It gives me the victory lap vibe. As soon as I played it, as soon as it started, I was like, yo, this sounds like Victory Lap to me. You know what I mean? And that's a great thing, because Victory Lap, in my opinion, is a classic record. This particular joint, it kind of reminded me of Blue Laces 2 off the Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap album. And it's definitely the perfect joint to start an album. You know what I mean? Jay Stone's voice in this joint sounds super dope over the beat. His flow is crazy. I was really, really enjoying this record. It's going to be one of the records that I probably play on repeat. Now the second joint, Trials and Tribulations. The lyrics and the content on this joint are fire. The beat is crazy because it bends around his flow. It's basically perfect. The beat drops in and out. The beat is crazy. You can hear that he's really in his element. He's vibing crazy on the beat. This right here is like the perfect pocket for Jay Stone when he raps. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's extremely comfortable on this record. Number 3, it's called From the Bottom. Now here's the thing. This album, sorry to deviate, I forgot to mention something. On this album, I listened to it on YouTube, and the track listing was all over the place. So what I did was I went to Jay Stone's Instagram page where he announced the official album track list, and I'm doing a review on those 16 tracks in the order that they're perceived on his Instagram page. So this goes in the order of, the way it looked on his Instagram post, all 16 records. Now on YouTube, they got the shit all jumbled around. They even got extra records on here that he didn't have listed on his Instagram. So I'm assuming that that's maybe it's a bonus extended version of the album. I'm only doing a review on the first 16 records that he had on his Instagram page. So, number 3, From the Bottom. I wasn't really overly hyped about this beat initially. I like it. I like the vibe of the record. His flow kind of threw me off at first. You can tell that this isn't his normal flow. You can tell he was trying something different. He seems somewhat uncomfortable at certain parts of the record, but overall, it's a likable track. And that's pretty much it about this song right here. Like I said, I wasn't really hyped over it at first. It kind of took away from what the first 2 records built up, but it wasn't something that I probably would really skip. You know what I mean? The next track, number 4, is called Another Level. This joint is crazy. The beat is fire, the flow is crazy, the content is crazy. Jay Stone is definitely in his bag on this record, and a lot of the records, when he's in his bag like this, really makes this whole project enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? This right here is nuts. The beat is crazy. I really was feeling this record. This is one of the standout records on the album, ladies and gentlemen. Now, number 5, When Thugs Cry. The beat is fire on this. The sample in the background is crazy. It really draws you in. It's a personal track. You can tell he's talking about some personal elements of his life in this record. Some overly personal, like some, he always reflects on shit that he was doing. But this particular record, he dropped some gems, and he actually talks about, some more personal things on the album. It's definitely one of my favorite joints on the project. Number 5, When Thugs Cry. All right, let's go into number 6. Number 6 is Chin Check, featuring Dom Kennedy. Dom Kennedy starts off with the hook. He's off beat. You know what I mean? Like, if you really listen to it, if you understand the timing of music, you can hear it. As soon as he starts rapping the chorus, the shit is off beat. So it threw me right off the gate. It kind of had me like, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really feeling the track. Also, the track has some very, very, very simple lyrics compared to the rest of the album. The beat is a vibe. I kind of wasn't really feeling this joint as much. And but I did like the beat. Overall, I probably would skip this record because, like I said, the fact that he started off the record, he was off beat. J Stone came in and kind of saved it a little bit. But ultimately, this is one of the records I probably would skip, and I wasn't really feeling it. I think Dom Kennedy took away from the record instead of adding to the record. Number 7 is called Build With You. I like the skit in the beginning with the girls on the intro. The beat is definitely different. It's more commercial. I love how it sounds, and this probably will be, or at least it should be, one of his radio singles. You know what I'm saying? This right here should definitely be a single on his album because it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the shit. You can hear the way it jumps off. It's just a radio record. The shit is fire. Now, this also was one of the standout records on the album. Number 8, we got Mind State. It's got a super short hook, but I think it actually works. You know what I mean? I like the way it flows with the lyrics. The piano and the beat is mesmerizing. The piano is insane on this record. It's definitely a hot street record, and the piano, that shit draws you in. As soon as you start hearing it, you're gonna be like, oh man, this shit is crazy. So this is definitely another one of my records that I really was feeling on the album. It's called Mind State. It's number 8. Let me skip ahead to number 9. Number 9 is See You Fail. This joint right here features The Game, and it kind of reminds me of Imaginary Player by Jay-Z. And the beat is fire, the vibe is fire. The Game spazzed on this record. J Stone definitely held his own. I wouldn't consider it one of the standout tracks, but I do like the vibe and the way the song came together. I would definitely listen to it. I wouldn't skip it. I would listen to it, but it didn't really stand out compared to some of the other records. Number 10, No Reason. This is another track I wasn't really feeling as much. The vibe is cool, the message is cool, but I did not like his flow on this record, and I did not like the hook whatsoever. So this particular record, number 10, No Reason, I would actually skip this record. Like I said, it doesn't hold up to the other records that he got on there. He got way hotter records than this. So in my opinion, I would skip this joint. Number 11, In the Morning. This is that West Coast vibe. The hook is fire. And this overall record sounds like something that YG would do. Some West Coast shit. I wasn't feeling J Stone's flow, but overall it's a decent record, and I would have unfortunately skipped this joint. You know what I'm saying? Certain records, J Stone seems like he's out of pocket with the way he flows. It's like he tries to take chances and do different types of styles and different type of flows, and I just wasn't feeling that. You know what I mean? He sounds good when he raps with his normal shit. He has a dope flow. He got a good voice. And when he's in pocket and he does what he does, the shit's fire. But when he steps outside of the box and tries to do something a little different lyrically as far as just the flow patterns, I'm not really feeling it too much. So number 11, In the Morning, we're going to skip that one. Number 12, Big Backwood Roller. This right here is, I think this sounds like his attempt at a trap record. The beat is nuts, and I fuck with this record heavy. You know what I mean? The way the record comes in, I really fuck with this joint. I like the fact that it was somewhat different than the other records on there. and I like the fact that he didn't overly go trap with a lot of his records. He kind of modeled this whole album after Victory Lap. You can kind of tell that the whole thing was modeled similar to Victory Lap because it gives you a similar vibe, which is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's his homeboy. He pretty much was probably there when Nip was creating his whole album. So he carried a lot of that vibe into his own personal works, and I really dig it. Number 12, Big Backwood Roller. This is also another standout record. Number 13, Mind on a Million. Kind of started off slow. Currency brought the joint to life. It's an overall good record. It's listenable. I wouldn't skip it, but I wasn't really overly hyped or excited about the record. It was cool. I don't know. Maybe it's something about the way the two voices together, they don't really sound good together to me. Currency definitely spazzed. I like this flow pattern. I like this content. I like this material. Overall, it's a good song, but I wouldn't get hyped when the shit comes on. You know what I mean? Now, we're going to go on to number 14, which is Real Shit. When the joint first started, I thought that shit was T-Pain on the record, to be honest. You know, the record is fire. Makes me want to reminisce on my past exploits. It's a perfect record. The freeway ride too, to just hop on the freeway and just drive and just feel yourself and just listen to the music. This is a perfect record for that. It's also a perfect record if you're just cruising down the streets and you want to bang something hot out the windows, roll your windows down and just cruise and just really have everybody vibing off of what you're listening to. This record is crazy. Number 14, Real Shit, another standout record on the album, and I fucks with it for real. Now, number 15, No Replacement. That's what it's called, No Replacement. It's another good record. The hook is fire. I like how the beat breaks down all throughout the various points in the song. The beat is pretty crazy. It wasn't really a standout record, but I really did enjoy it. I would not skip this record. I would listen to it. And like I said, it gives me a cool little vibe. You know what I'm saying? And like the standout portion of this record is how the beat just be changing all through the hook and all through the like they drop the drums out and you can really feel the emotion behind the chorus and all that other shit because of the way the beat breaks down around the record. You know what I'm saying? So I really fuck with that heavy. And the last record is called Maybe, number 16. This right here is one of my favorite records on the album. When I hear this shit, I get inspired. The beat is crazy. And they got these little girl voices, like this little girl sample. I don't know if it's a sample or they actually singing on the record. It's in the background, but it complements the record very well. It sounds amazing, and I really fuck with this record. Number 16, Maybe. I get inspired when I hear this joint. This is probably maybe my second favorite joint on the entire album. It could even be a toss-up for number 1, depending. The very first record, The Marathon Continues, with Nip on the intro was crazy as hell too. So now let's get into the rating system. Lyricism, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Now I say it's a 6 out of 10 because I didn't hear anything crazy with the flow patterns. I didn't hear him going outside the box with the way he delivered the records too well, but it works well for what he does as an artist. You know what I mean? Lyricism, I would say like something crazy would be some of the stuff that Eminem does, or Royce the 5'9" does, or Crooked I does. That's crazy lyricism. Even Nas, that's crazy lyricism. You know what I'm saying? I would put his lyricism at a 6. Content, which to me is the stuff that he's talking about in his raps, the material that he's talking about, his subject matter, and how it relates to me and relates to people all over the world. I will give him a 7 on content. He didn't do anything too groundbreaking with the content, just basically said his story. You know what I mean? I would have preferred to hear a little more, personal stories about some of the stuff that he and Nip did, like actual storytelling records about what he and Nip did. You know what I mean? Since that was his homeboy, and I'm pretty sure he got some stories that he could tell. I wished he would have went into a little further detail with that type of aspect. So overall, I give his content a 7. His beats, I like the beats on the record. There were way more beats on here. Even though a lot of the beats had a similar vibe, I still like the beats, and I wouldn't skip a lot of them. I give his beats an 8. So overall, I would give his album, The Definition of Loyalty, a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I wasn't blown away by the flow patterns. The vibe, the beats, and the way the record sounds was crazy. Overall, it was pretty good. There was more records that I would listen to than I would skip, which is always a good thing. But one thing I would like to hear more high energy records. Jay Stone has this laid back flow, and I didn't hear any high energy records to kind of offset the fact that he was in pocket on so many of these records, or that a lot of these records was just head bobbing, vibing records rather than something that you would put on and just go crazy to, like legitimate bangers where you just ready to throw shit, break shit, and just go nuts. Because of his voice being so laid back, I would like to have heard, him step outside the box with his production and at least put one or two records on there that was just so hype that he would just have to go crazy, which would make him also change his voice. That's another thing. He kind of has the same tone through the whole album, and I would like to hear him actually get aggressive with his voice, or maybe do some whispery style, or just something different than just the same, like voice inflection on all of his records. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tell you the standout records on this joint. Tracks 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 14, and 16 were all joints that I would like. Like if I could, I would put those on an album all by itself, and the album would be 100% crazy from start to finish. Those records right there, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 14, and 16 were crazy. My favorites of the whole shit is track 1 and track 16. The Marathon Continues and Maybe. Those are my two favorite records on there. Like I said, overall it's a great album. Definitely something to listen to. I look forward to hearing more music from this guy in the future. And I wish him luck. I hope his album does numbers. This was my review. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. You guys may feel differently. You guys may agree with me. That's just what I feel about and the vibe that I get when I hear this album. The Definition of Loyalty by your boy Jay Stone from All Money In. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am your boy Noah Jones. This is Today in Hip Hop, episode 21, the album review of Jay Stone's The Definition of Loyalty, and it is sponsored by PrivateRoadClothing.com. Make sure you jump over to Private Road Clothing and get you some fresh. I am currently wearing a shirt in the video. Think rich, act rich, get rich. It is a mind state, ladies and gentlemen. If you speak it into existence, it will happen for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Make sure you tune in to more of Today in Hip Hop. I will leave a link in the description where you can find more episodes. It's your boy Noah Jones. Peace.